When you come back, I will show you all the grinding that I did. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Keep an eye on the in-game clock, because this probably is only going to be like an hour or so of grinding. It won't be too bad. Welcome back, my little recusants, and yeah, it's looking like this is the fruits of about 40 minutes of grinding or so. 50 minutes. Yeah, this is a very, very fruitful and lucrative area to grind in. And especially because we're fighting all those little robot monsters, we actually get a good amount of digital circuits, which we can sell for a lot. And they also work as good artificial components in and of themselves. But yeah, I'm going to basically put in a little overlay and it'll just show you the before and after in terms of stats. And like that, I know some people might say, oh, like the strength only went up by X amount, or the HP only went up by a small amount as well. But keep in mind, we also got like roll levels. And so, yeah, pretty good there for Lightning. She got a big HP boost there. But as well as that, we have Hope going through Ravager. He's after picking up Overwhelm, which is a great passive ability. And don't sleep on the passive abilities, to be honest. Like, they really, really do work. And they do work wonders when you all of a sudden get all your different Ravengers or all your different medics with these passive bonuses and things like that. Like, even with Commando, it's like them having Smite is an incredibly powerful gift to have. And now Hope has all 3 of the roll levels. His magic is after going up by a good 20 as well. So, you know, don't sleep on that either. That's basically like a fully leveled accessory nearly. And her Saboteur level now with Fang, that's up to new heights as well. So once again, we're going to now hop up because she basically still needs lots of different levels in her different areas. But as you can see, Renew is basically a TP ability, and unless the character themselves has those TP abilities learned, it's going to be a bit of an issue. But once again, by no one's surprise, Fang's strength is going to skyrocket because that's her primary stat, if you will. Just going to get Snow some more magic, finally reaching into the hundreds with magic, as opposed to Hope, who already has like 200. But you know, I suppose to balance it out, Snow's HP is near the 2000s and Hope's is only after cresting into 1000. So, you know, the characters all develop at their own paces, which is grand. But likewise, we're going to just see Snow's HP skyrocket and his strength increasing as well, a close second. But, you know, 10 more HP and we'd have, you know, 1900. But the ability Scourge, not a bad thing at all. And like that, gone up by 20 points as well. We're just going to show you guys basically the handy bit of shopping that you can do. So if you go to sell and you go to the digital circuits, we have 25 of those. And realistically, I should have just sold all of them. I don't know why I was really holding on to them. But like 10 has just about the same amount as 1 incentive chip. So like that's where the big difference is. But I mean, you can get enough sturdy bones to have your 3 times XP multiplier. So once again, we're just going to keep on keeping on with our levels here. But as you can see, silicon oil, really, really good thing that we were gathering there. So definitely sleeping on silicone oil. And then if we just crank out 36 of the sturdy bones, we end up getting our ×3 multiplier. And that, I feel like that was actually a bad move. In hindsight, I probably should have just sold all those other digital circuits. But what we picked up the last session that I didn't actually show you guys is the ATB advantage, which means we start the battle with a ATB bar. But since we have our speed weapon on Lightning, it allows her to basically generate ATB 10% faster. And obviously, if we upgrade this accessory, make it more potent and powerful, we're able to essentially have even more boost to the ATB gain. And since Lightning regains ATB whenever she attacks, it just turns her into a little speed demon attacking every 2 seconds, which is obviously fantastic. And even though you might say, oh, we only went up by like 20 strength points, you can see here the complete difference that a couple of extra strength points make. So we're literally cutting through these like butter. They're literally taking thousands of damage a hit, and we're hitting all of them, and now we only have 2 enemies left. Hope is hitting them with AoE magic damage, so, you know, ending that really quickly, really smoothly. Not a problem at all. 800 and another digital circuit for us to sell. But like that, all I was doing was going up one of those stairs and down the other stairs. But the people I didn't fight were these 2 guys. I probably should have been fighting with them as well, since they do drop incentive chips. As you can see, they're, you know, human enemies, Psycom enemies, and no matter what type of Psycom they are, they will drop incentive chips. So that's on me. I could have probably gotten a bit more money if I had just dipped into this fight and, you know, just attacked these guys with the chance of getting incentive chips for obviously more purchasing power, and then allowing me to upgrade my weapons a bit more. But next episode we are going to get to basically an area that I spend an awful lot of time in, because that area only has Psycom enemies and they drop an awful lot of incentive chips and credit chips for money grinding. But if I'm honest, like that silicon oil from like these enemies, a huge opportunity there to grind all of that. And I'll be honest, if I was upgrading a weapon like the Blaze Fire that takes less EXP to fully level, like that could have seen massive amounts of stat gains on that weapon. But as it stands, the Axis Blade is one of the slowest weapons to upgrade. It takes the most amount of time. But all in all, its passive ability and its auto ability generation is what makes it super, super good. Because, as you saw, I have the ability of the attack ATB charge. But when I equip the Wind Whistle Staff, it gives me an ATB gauge at the start of battle. But because I have those 2 items together in my character's equipment screen, it generates an auto ability for 10% faster ATB charge. So without that weapon, I wouldn't get that passive ability and I wouldn't get those benefits. So that's one of the reasons why weapons having abilities tied to them just leads to more auto ability generation, because obviously if another weapon doesn't have any abilities, it can't by itself generate any new auto abilities that could be useful. So that's the trade-off. It's like, yeah, you get a cool ability, but you also get these really cool other auto abilities that could be a massive bonus to your strategies when you're putting them together. And for me, Lightning just needs to be the little speed demon blitzing around, getting tons of ATB recovery, and just putting the pressure on so that they're getting kind of stagger locked with the blitzes. You're keeping the stagger going, and your other party members are able to stay in Ravager purely because it's like, yeah, they're not going to be getting harassed by a bunch of different enemies if you're keeping them locked down in place, staggering away with, and when I say stagger, I mean like the actual act of doing a blitz attack interrupts the enemies in their attack patterns, so they get like reset, you know? But this was such a waste of time. I had a memory of a chest being down here, but it's only 300 gil, which, like, honey, we've been making way more of that from outside of treasure chests. But then with these silly little things going up and down, it's like, oh, now I have to wait for this thing to go all the way down before I can, like, go back up. But I can promise you guys, we are nearly at the point where we're going to see all of our party members again, so it's going to be really good. We're literally about to meet up with Sazh and Vanille very shortly. Just a few more fights with enemies, getting some more incentive chips and digital circuits and credit chips potential. So we love that for ourselves. And as I say, I'm just cutting out these battles because, you know, you've seen them. It's just a mixture of sentineling. And here we go again with another moment where I get blatantly told something that I probably should equip, because it's one of those treasure chests that aren't well hidden. You probably are going to find it. And it's like a weapon it's an accessory that's like, oh, it gives you 20% resistance to lightning damage. You probably want that. And slight spoilers, but basically the next boss we're going to go into uses lightning as its main attack. But we have hope. We've leveled up his synergist. He has Bar Thunder now, so there is no need to be too worried. And now Lightning has her medic ability upgraded again. And we're just going to tidy up the last few nodes for HP. And that's all of medic done for this point in the Crystarium, and all of Lightning's abilities gotten. That's pretty great. We're looking here, Ravager seems to be done, and I know that Synergist is done. I think maybe there's probably some medic nodes that I must be missing. But we're just going to tidy up Fangs there with Commando, getting her damage amplification even higher. So now having like 2 Commandos and a Ravager would be awesome for boss fights, because the stagger is going to go up really high, and then once you just have your 2 Commandos, they're not going to be making the stagger bar go down really quickly. But I don't do that either. So before, if I can give you any bits of advice, basically equip the Spark Ring to probably Lightning because she's your party leader. And get ready for this fun fight. You should also have Fang as a Saboteur.
So Light, how you figure this makes us lucky? Because when we kill it, we're one step closer to Vanille. How's that? Well, when you put it that way.
All you need to do is tell Fang whatever you're going to do has something to do with Vanille, and
This'll be fun.
she's going to do it without question. For good or for bad. But now with 2 Libras, Hope now knows, oh, this thing does strong lightning damage. And yeah, I then learn, oh, it's susceptible to Curse and to Slow. Curse is basically the anti-vigilance, so we're able to interrupt it way easier. And obviously being like an electric type, a bit like Pokemon, you can imagine that because its main element is electricity, it's probably going to like be very quick in attacking. So we're just gonna see how quickly the stagger goes and drops, and it goes pretty quick to be fair. So lighting up this enemy, avoiding lightning unfortunately because it would literally heal the enemies. That's why our auto battle isn't prioritizing lightning attacks, and then just filling it up with some more combos. But Fira and Watera amplify or charge up the stagger bar way quicker, and does more damage to enemies when staggered, and does like AoE damage as well. So there's multiple different reasons why the characters are stacking Watera into the equation, I suppose. And really, what I should have had was a Synergist Saboteur Ravager. just to have Fang have slow into the thing, because that would have really helped us an awful lot. But as well as that, we needed those 2 commandos. We would have been doing so much more damage with the damage amplification being added to the Ravager as well.
Another one! One big fat stroke of luck after another. I'm so happy I could cry.
Snow has mastered sarcasm. It's super effective.
Tease us, will ya?
Come down here!
The reunion we've all been waiting for. Ah!
Vanille!
There you are.
Miss me?
You, the monster!
Poor Sazh. He's like, hey guys, it's been a long time. And they're like, we don't give a fuck, Sazh. Get out of the way of the monster. And now we have to do all this setup over again. Why they just did a back-to-back boss? Well, I suppose they kind of did the similar thing with Hope and Snow with the, like, robot thing. The orange joke. Can't remember. But anyway, we just get our Bar Thunders up. That's pretty much all we need. And we just gotta do it, you know, do it over again. Just get our buffs up, get Protect up on our Sentinel, and then go all-out assault. And like, even with its ultimate like lightning attack, it only does 400 to Hope because he has that Bar Thunder. So you can imagine if like he even had like the Spark Ring to like reduce lightning damage even further, like it would have done barely anything. So keep that in mind when you're equipping your accessories and things like that. And this is where it's one of the frustrating things about Fang is that she just doesn't have Ravager. She's one of the only characters that doesn't have the Ravager class. So we could have had like a Tri-Disaster, which would have just, you know, made the stagger bar just zoom up. And I don't know why I go to diversity, really. But what's really funny is that because it's staggered, it like loads up the cutscene for it to go like super high in the air to do its big lightning call down. But because it's staggered, we just hit it with a ruin and it's like, oh, ow, I can't do my super cool massive attack. But again, if we had the 2 commandos, like, the stagger bar getting super high is really cool and all, but I'm sitting there being like, oh, why don't I have like 2 commandos? It's really annoying. But like that, with lightning on commando, job done, 5 stars, 2 more accessories, loving our life. And I'm going to stay quiet for the cutscene, but that's going to be our episode for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
You've still got time.
Fang, there's something I need to tell you.
Making me worry like that. We'll talk later, Missy.
What's wrong?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Nothing. So, what's on the agenda?
Toppling the Sanctum?
No, I mean really.
He's serious. We're gonna take down the Sanctum and give Cocoon back to the people. The Fal'Cie have called the shots for long enough.
If we pull this off, it'll be a miracle.
Well, good thing Lady Luck's on our side.
More of them?
You know, this is getting really old.
Check this out. A miracle. Grand
So did you ever wonder why Vanille's wand had a whip?
Vanille, go.
Apparently, it's for this. Now, how she's able to hold on to that is beyond me. Like, I know they've magic powers anyway, but like,
That's a good girl.
they've managed to tame the beast by sticking a spear in its neck. Total sense.
All right.
Anyway, enjoy the cutscene. I'll stop shit talking over it. I'll talk to you then.
Believe in Lady Luck now?
Yeah. Lady Bad Luck. Ah.
Time to purge a Primark.
You got it. Yeah. Jump.
I had my doubts. But I also believed that if we stuck together, somehow we could change our fate.